So we have a system of equations here. We've got 3 equations and 3 unknowns. So our unknowns are A, B, and C, right? And our equations are, we call this like equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. Now, the first one and the easiest equation to work with is equation 3. That's going to automatically give us that A is equal to 1/2. So let's look at that. So from 3, okay, if negative 2A equals negative 1, we just divide both sides by negative 2. And A equals 1/2. All right. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to put this piece of information, we're going to substitute that in equations 1 and 2. That's going to give us 2 equations, 2 unknowns. Because once we substitute in our value for A right here and our value for A right here, what's going to be left is, something in B and C and some number. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to substitute A equals 1/2 into equations 1 and equations 2. So instead of 2A, so this is equation 1, 2A plus B plus 2C equals 1 is now going to turn into, right, because that's equation 1, 2A plus B plus 2C. We're going to add the fact that A is equal to 1/2. So I have 2 times 1/2 plus B plus 2C equals 1. Okay, and then we can simplify 1 plus B plus 2C equals 1. So B plus 2C equals 0. All right, so this is our new equation 1. That makes sense. Okay, now what about our new equation 2? So let's see here. So 2 was, what was 2? 3A plus 2B minus C equals 2. So it's 3A plus 2B minus C equals 2. And then we're going to add in the fact that A is equal to 1/2 to get 3 times 1/2 plus 2B minus C equals 2. We're going to simplify that. So it's going to be 1.5 plus 2B minus C equals 2. I'm going to subtract 1.5 from both sides. And I'm going to get 2B minus C equals 0.5. I'll just write that as 1/2. Okay, so this is our new equation 3. 2B minus C equals 1/2. So currently, here's what we know. So our current status. So we know that A is equal to 1/2, and we know that B plus 2C equals 0, right? That's from over there in pink. And we know that 2B minus C is equal to 1/2. 2B minus C is equal to 1/2. So this is now a new system of equations, right? So we've got a new system of equations, 2 equations, 2 unknowns, and we're going to solve this to figure out B and C. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, let's see here, so I'll solve the top for B. So from here I'm going to say B is equal to negative 2C. And then I'm going to plug that into the bottom equation. So 2 times negative 2C minus C equals 1/2. So do you see what I did there? This B, right, I replaced it with negative 2C. So 2 times negative 2C minus C equals 1/2. 2 times negative 2C minus C equals 1/2. Okay, and now let me simplify this. I'm going to have negative 4C minus C equals 1/2. Negative 4C, negative C, that's going to give me negative 5C equals 1/2. Now to get C, I need to divide to get C by itself. And so I have C equals negative 1/10. Okay, I smile because I now have a new piece of information, right? So far I figured out that A is equal to 1/2. Now, let me see here. Maybe we can do it. So A is equal to 1/2. Now I know that C, didn't I just find C? Yes. C is negative 1/10. And I'm going to use that to figure out B, because B is negative 2 times C. So B equals negative 2C. But if C is equal to negative 1/10, that means I'm going to be able to solve for B. So I have negative 2 times negative 1/10. And that's going to be 1/5. So B equals 1/5. All right. So my conclusion is that A is 1/2, B is 1/5, and C is negative 1/10. So the take-home message kind of is that if you have 3 equations and 3 unknowns, it's going to be more complicated than if you have just 2 equations and 2 unknowns like we have here. Here we go.